December 27, 2022, about 2 weeks ago. Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks puts up a historic 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists in a crazy game against the New York Knicks. Now, I'm doing my usual thing. I'm actually on vacation, but of course doing the usual thing of covering the game and everything that has to do with it. I put the post out, that explodes, so I go, okay, I need another piece of content for this historic performance. I see Luka's post-game interview. He says, I need a recovery beer. Now, I'm sure you're asking why that's on my t-shirt right now, but I'll get to that eventually. So, I need a recovery beer. I put that out on NBA Buzz. It explodes. It's starting to go viral. On Twitter, it went viral. So, 2 nights later, I'm still on my vacation. I start getting crazy notifications from NBA Buzz fans just tagging me in this one tweet and this one Instagram post from NBA on ESPN. Now, it's a courtside Dallas Mavericks fan that I have no idea of who made a custom shirt using that quote graphic that I made 2 nights later on a t-shirt, customized on the back, and he's on national TV with it. Now, I don't know what to think. I'm so confused, but I'm happy that I see the NBA Buzz logo on it. So he's on national TV, ESPN picks up on it. I share it on NBA Buzz and all of my platforms, and I go, I need to get in contact with this guy. So I put it on the NBA Buzz story, asking my fans, does anybody know who this is? You need to, get me in touch with him. Then after that, I got in contact with him, got his cell phone number, got his Instagram, and he was kind enough to send me 2 of these t-shirts. So here I am wearing mine, and he's right here joining me. Vin Wayne, I appreciate you coming on episode 44 of Inside Buzz, and I appreciate you getting the ball rolling with all this. It's been mind-blowing that all of this is happening, and it's just great to talk about it with you right now.
Thanks for having me.
And the way we connected on Inside Buzz is pretty crazy. I mean, tell me the background behind the shirts, what the idea was, why my NBA Buzz pages post, and the turnaround, how quickly you got them done to be at the next Mavericks game with that shirt on, sitting courtside.
So a little interesting background. So I'm a season ticket holder with the Mavs, floor seats, and so the Mavs, the arena, American Airlines Arena, it's a great atmosphere and everything. And then we had COVID, going through all that, so everyone's being careful and safe. But now everything's kind of back to normal for the most part. Well, I don't know if something in between there happened, COVID, where I wouldn't say it's Mavs personnel, but like the American Airlines security, they have their own security. They became pretty strict, and one of the things was, part of being a fan and enjoying venues is, cheering on your team and bringing in signs. So I actually had a really nice sign made for LeBron, Dirk, and Luka on the Christmas Day game at the Mavs Arena. I sent a photo of it to you, and but anyway, I spent hours on it, front and back, and it wasn't that big. It's a regular poster size. It's not like a banner, and it was just honoring Dirk, and then just and then just giving thanks. And it was the day they were unveiling the statue, Dirk statue. Again, just always go through security. They're like, yeah, that sign's too big. I'm like, what? I go, it's a regular poster size, and they go, yeah, we can tell you put a lot of time into it. It's really nice, and but you can't bring it in. And they said it had to be like 11 by 17. And if you look at a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, it's like double that. So there's no point bringing in signs in at that point. Like, they can't see it. So luckily, I have 2 seats, season ticket holder, and I'm like, geez, I literally spent like 8 hours on this, front and back. It wasn't just one-sided. And I go, you know what? I had a buddy with me to the game. I go, you know what? I'm gonna go inside, walk in, go to their Mavs team shop and borrow scissors. I'm gonna cut this sign in half, and then try to get it in that way. And sure enough, that's what we did. So we cut it right in the middle. So now it's more like a puzzle you piece together, and that's how we were able to get it in. When Luka, he had a big game that game. He actually, when they pulled him out, I want to say with like 4.5 minutes left in the fourth. We were doing well that game. So he sits to my left, the Mavs player bench, and I never bother them. I just cheer the whole team on. But during when he got timed out and it got kind of quiet, I go, "Hey, Luka," like because he's literally 3 rows in front of me. He sees over and he sees the sign I hold up, him saying that basically it says Luka greater than sign LeBron. Because the game was almost over, so that's why I held it up. And then he just smiled and gave a wink to me. So I got to acknowledge. So that like made my Christmas day.
That whole situation with the sign, worrying about the size now, how strict they're going to be, that light bulb went off in your head that you had to do it a different way. So I'm assuming that's where the T-shirts came in.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like you really can't bring anything in. So I'm like, fine. And then Luka went off on that Tuesday night game, got that record, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't make this. You can see his quote, and I actually got the shirt on too. So I'm like, and I wanted his yeah, it was a great interview. It was a funny interview. I know Skin Wade, who did the interview. So then I was looking for that clip, and then I saw Inside Buzz that you had the quote on it. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to give credit where it's due. So that's why I went to my guy. I didn't go to the mall. I went to my guy who was a really nice custom T-shirt shop, and I'm like, hey, like I literally, because I'm pretty busy. That game was Tuesday night, and I had it done Thursday, like 3 hours before the game, just because I was pretty busy. But anyway, so yeah, I had only 3 shirts made. One for me to wear to the game, one for my good friend, and then one to give to Mark Cuban. I knew Mark was out that week. He's always at the home game, but he was spending it was a Christmas, New Year's, so he's spending time with his family. That's the only reason.
So how close are your seats to where Cuban sits? Because he sits right next to the bench.
That's right. So if I am 2 rows behind Cuban to his right, but so he can see me and I can see him and I can see where the players sit. They can all see me. So yeah.
Gotcha. So when that all happened, what was your immediate reaction? I mean, I was stunned. For my side of the coin, I'm on vacation in South Carolina. I'm with my girlfriend's family. I'm doing my usual posting and everything like that. That's that Thursday game. It finishes, and then I see a ton of people tagging NBA Buzz and my personal on Instagram and Twitter that it was seen on TV. It was going viral on Twitter. NBA on ESPN posted it. So what was your immediate reaction? Like, oh my God, the shirt I just made, now it's seen everywhere.
It was really, really cool. I didn't realize because I was actually at the game and wasn't, I'm like, when I say I'm at the game, I'm like not checking Twitter. I'm actually like cheering on the team, even if it's a blow. I'm standing up, cheering them on, like a real fan, and even cheering the other team when they're making good shots. And anyway, so then my friend started texting me and be like, hey, like ESPN's gotten you on. They got, and then I'm there and I see the Jumbotron, and they weren't even really showing me on the Jumbotron, but the Mavs broadcast, they have a deal with Bally Sports. They're like, yeah, not only you've got so my friends are watching the game at home. They're like, they kept talking about your shirt for a long time. And, but anyway, so yeah, that was really cool. Like afterwards. And then you helped, get it. Well, so it was at that game. It was at that game that I ended up, after halftime, I know one of the Mavs equipment guys that works for the team, and I approached him, and he saw my shirt, and he really liked it. I go, I have an extra one for Cuban. I know he's not here, but whenever you see him next, just give it to him. And so that's what he did for me. And then I think the next day or whatever it was, or that day, Cuban posted it on his Instagram, and then it just.
Always great connecting with Mark Cuban. He's an NBA Buzz follower. He's always interacting with my posts, messages I send him. I'm trying to get him on the show later this month, actually, which would be, amazing. But Vin, I got to thank you for not cropping out the NBA Buzz logo on it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been on social media after 11, 12 years of running NBA Buzz that people just jack stuff from the page and get rid of the logo. And here you are keeping it on the T-shirt. So that was amazing. So I got to give you kudos for that.
The guy that I had made the shirt, he asked that, and I said no. I want this. I need that logo on there. I want to give you credit.
I appreciate that. And Vin, talk to me about being at that game, the historic 60-21-10 stat line from Luka Doncic, first one ever with that stat line in NBA history, which is insane. That game was also incredible. I mean, he had like 50 at the end of regulation, and they were about to lose. My Knicks were about to pull through, but Luka got that spectacular rebound off the miss and everything like that. So go through that game for me.
Well, unfortunately, something you don't know was I wasn't at that game. I'm a season ticket holder and I go to 99% of their games. But that game, I had another very good friend who wanted to take his girlfriend from South Korea as a gift, as a surprise to that game. We had this plan 2 months ago, obviously, like when they released the season schedule. And I said, yeah, I go, no problem, bro. He wanted to buy the tickets for me. I just gave it to him, sent it to him, and I said, enjoy the game. Obviously, if I had the ball, I would have been a little selfish. Like, yeah, I want to go witness this history, but but that's the reason why I try to make all the games. You never know what's going to happen. That's one of the reasons I love the NBA. Anything can happen any night. But anyway, so yeah, that was what's crazy was that was his girlfriend's first ever NBA game, and she got to witness that historical performance, overtime, the atmosphere, and it was nuts. He kept blowing up my phone and just says, "Hey, I'm forever grateful to you," and they had a great time. But yeah, so that's what I was watching from home. Still enjoyed it, and then that's when I was like, okay, I'm not missing the next game. I gotta go.
And Vin, how long have you been a season ticket holder, and what's been the greatest moment you've seen?
So season ticket, I haven't had those floor seats until actually this year. But like I've sat in other sections, 100 section, 200 sections since 2007. So it takes a long time. I'm actually still trying to move up a little bit more. But yeah, like I mean, I'm not gonna complain where I'm at, but yeah, you just gotta get on the list and work your way through the years. And so of course the 2011 run was unreal. I mean, I guess maybe only Mavs fans talk about it, but that 2005 run in Miami, maybe the refs had something to do with it, but we still feel a little jaded. So maybe Dirk could have had two. But anyway, 2011 was historical. And then so last year's run, I just because Luka's only in his fourth year last year, I just wanted them just to get some playoff experience. I was happy if they got out of the first round. And then but making all the way against Golden State, the Western Conference, that's just gonna only help the team. I don't know. I trust the front office, Nico and Mark, willing to spend the money. And I follow that a lot. I follow the trades. I know what's going on. Right just the other day, Cavs, some Hardaway and Levert, and all that. Like that's more. I don't think it would hurt, but it's going to help us out financially. So I hope that deal gets done.
I'm sure those seats cost a pretty penny. What do you do in your professional life?
So I'm an accountant, that's my. I know it's nerdy, but that's what I'm really good at. I really enjoy helping my clients, especially like most of my clients own businesses, helping them save money. But also, I have a franchise restaurant, so I have some investments in that regards.
Awesome. And the Mavs this year heavily rely on Luka Doncic. 23-14 with him, 0-4 without him. We're in, early January, about a month away from the NBA trade deadline. What would you want to see the Mavericks accomplish at the deadline?
Just one more. I don't even know if they need to be a superstar. Maybe tier 2. So obviously, like the whole and then Kristaps Porzingis, KP talked about it this year, which is fine. It wasn't a good fit. Like that was the Batman and Robin, right? Scenario. But at least it didn't work out. Kristaps having a great year. Better fit. And then, we got Dinwiddie in return. So we're still we're still pretty cash strapped. And then obviously we gave away our pick. So, if we can get the Bogdanovic, whatever, out of Detroit, I think we could. I honestly, like, if we get, every team has a dynamic duo. Luka has never had a dynamic duo. Kawhi, Paul George, Jokic, Murray, Durant, Irving. Like, if he just has, again, they don't have to be a superstar, just one more. I think we can make it to the Western Conference Finals seriously every year.
Yeah, you need another 20-point scorer, and that's what Bogdanovic is. And that leads right into my next question. Look at Jalen Brunson, former Mav, Now he's striving for my Knicks. Do you think he's having a better year because he's not playing with Luka Doncic? Because both of them are very ball dominant. You could see Brunson now running point guard duties in New York, just a different feel than he had in Dallas. What do you think about that whole situation?
I think Jalen is incredible. He obviously he loves New York. His dad's there a lot and play team, but he's a huge talent, and he knew. I think he was a great fit with Luka. They played off each other. They knew the roles, and then now he knows his role. He's their star, and he needs to step up and be the main ball handler. He's doing an incredible job, and I think it definitely could have worked. I think it was just a money issue. That's what I think it ultimately came down to. I don't think it's anything to do with Jalen being selfish and all that. Like, I think he's incredible, and I was actually worried after the Knicks game if Jalen was trying to recruit him down the road to New York. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, it's who doesn't want to play at MSG?
I got to ask you lastly, Vin, do you think Luka Doncic will bring a championship to Dallas like Dirk did in 2011?
I think he can if he gets, like you said, one 20-point consistent player. Definitely we get two. Like, the other right now would be if we keep Christian Wood, right? Like, he's the best. And then after that would be Dinwiddie. We just need more consistency. But yeah, definitely if we just get another 20-point player with him, Christian, and the other NBA player, that I think we could have a serious run.
Obviously Luka could get you a bucket at any time. I feel like that's where Bogdanović will really help them, because what I see watching a lot of, a decent amount of Mavericks games, the ones that are on national TV, I see that if Luka's not dominating and his shot isn't falling, everybody else is just chucking threes. And when the water turns off from three, it's like they can't bring it inside and finish other than Christian Wood if he's in the game. So they need somebody else in there, like even a scoring big man that would help them. Do you see that inconsistency from three with them? If the three's not working, it's like, my God, I don't know how they're going to score the ball.
Absolutely. And that's what I don't understand. Like, that's the frustrating part of this season, is when our threes aren't hitting, like Reggie Bullock, Tim Hardaway, they can dribble and drive. Definitely Tim. Tim is very athletic. Drive to the hole, get some fouls, build up your confidence. They settle for the threes. And it's frustrating. That was the frustrating part. And when Luka's drawing so much attention, I just felt seriously there's so many times this season where teams intentionally, double triple team Luka and would leave Bullock wide open because they want him to take the three, and he has. And unfortunately, his percentage is what it is. So I just don't understand why they don't drive more. And that's where what's exciting. And again, I get it. It's where almost to the, I guess, All-Star break coming up. But Coach Kidd seems like he's giving Jaden Hardy a chance because he's very athletic and he can finish. And I just hope, that continues.
I agree. They need that new blood in there. And, I'll ask you before I let you go, what are your overall thoughts on Jason Kidd as a head coach?
I think with the Mavs, it's still too early. I don't want to speak to his overall career of Milwaukee and whatever happened there, but I mean, this is only a second season, right, with the Mavs. I think he's good for the most part. I know as a fan, I see him on TV, see him in person. I love his interviews. I think he's funny. He's great after the games, his post-conference interviews. But during the game, it doesn't seem like he shows much emotion, we joke on our Mavs fans page, coach hands in his pocket, that's just his style. But anyway, but he's great at the interviews, great on the mic. I don't know. I think he needs more time. Still young, but if he can, but basketball wise, he seems very, he's there, and he's a player's coach, right? So I think he'd be good.
All right, Vin, I appreciate you coming on episode 44 of Inside Buzz. I appreciate you getting the ball rolling and all this and getting the t-shirts done in such a timely manner. I can't believe you got them done in just like 48 hours. So I'll be sending you a couple of Inside Buzz shirts in a couple days to thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mikey.